I'm getting tired of superhero movies. In 2012, when the Avengers came out, that was a pretty big deal. But it's 2017 now, and we're getting 6 superhero movies a year, and that's a lot of superhero movies. We've kind of reached this point where you can't just make a superhero movie, you gotta mix it up somehow. And there have been some great superhero movies that reinvented the genre. But does Justice League mix things up? No. Justice League is probably the most generic, predictable superhero movie I've ever seen. But Alex, you do not like movie because you are just stupid Marvel fanboy. I'm not gonna like a movie just because Marvel makes it, and I'm not gonna hate a movie just because DC makes it. I'm gonna like a movie if it's a good movie, and this is not a good movie. Justice League had characters that were mostly likable, and it had a plot that made sense, which is an accomplishment for DC. Yeah, DC. But Justice League was just bland. A bunch of unlikely heroes have to come together to stop an evil spaceman with an alien army from getting a magical plot device that'll take over the world. Oh wait, no, that's the plot for Avengers. Justice League is totally different, because instead of an evil spaceman trying to get a magical plot device, he's trying to get 3 magical plot devices. Totally different. The characters are just fine. They introduced the Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg in this movie, and I feel like they'd be a lot more interesting if they had some more time to be developed. The Flash was like the comic relief, and a couple of his jokes landed pretty well, but most of them felt forced. Cyborg doesn't do anything except touch things with his hacking fingers to move the plot forward. Aquaman, he's...
Alright.
He's Aquaman. The villain is terrible. He wants to take over the world because he's evil. That's his whole character. That's it. I am evil bad man. I will use Magic Box, who is also my mother, to make world tinted red. Ooh, spooky. I don't remember any of the CGI being that great. Everyone's making a fuss over Superman's mustache. There was a lot of reshoots for this movie, and at the same time, Michael Cavill was shooting a different movie that required him to have a mustache, so they had to remove it with CGI, and it cost like $25 million, and it ended up looking kind of weird. I didn't know about this before watching the movie, so I didn't notice it, and I don't think anyone else would be really talking about it if they had kept it a secret. I will say, though, that the music was actually pretty good. There wasn't any generic action stock music. The final battle of the movie kind of just happens. I mean, they fight, there's lots of action and CGI, and then the good guys win, but nothing feels very earned. I think there were supposed to be a bunch of civilians in the area they were fighting in, but instead of showing them, they just kept cutting back to one family for some reason. Justice League is just above a bad movie. It's just passable, and I'm sure it'll make a lot of money. I hope at some point people will stop wanting to see superhero movies that are just superhero movies. Justice League is a 6 out of 10 for me. Please don't demonetize my video, Warner Brothers. If it's a deal breaker, I'm willing to redo this review and say it's a good movie. Justice League, best movie ever, 10 out of 10, that's it. See you guys.